What is the soonest you've quit a new job? Last year, I took a route delivery job. I worked there for 4 days and quit. Shitty hours. Less pay than what they initially said up front. And only 5 yes. You read that right, PTO days for the entire calendar year. Best one I ever witnessed was guy quitting before he even started. Waiting at entrance of job site with my boss, who was a real fucking asshole. Guy walks up, finishing his cigarette, and says, "Hi, I'm the new journeyman. I'm Dave." My boss looks at his watch and goes, "It's 6:56. You're cutting it real close. Don't be late again, asshole." Dave looks him right in the eye, says, "Nope, not happening," turns on his heel, and walks back in the direction he came. The man didn't even finish his cigarette. Legend. I worked pest control for literally 1 day. The entire 10-hour shift the guy training me couldn't stop talking about how terrible the company was and what a bastard our boss was. Basically told me I made a mistake working here. I left that night and never went back. Spent 14 hours of Labor Day at a Budweiser distribution facility and was told to come back in 4 hours to start the next day. I slept like a king and never spoke to them again. Got a job right out of high school at a travel agency. I just dropped off a resume and I was hired. I had no experience and assumed I would be trained, but nope. First day and the boss puts me on a desk and says, "Good luck." The phone starts ringing. I have no idea what to do. So I got up and left. To this day I'm convinced it was some kind of social experiment. I quit working at Amazon after the first day. Fuck Jeff Bezos. About 2 hours into it, I got a point job hostessing at a pizza place to make some extra money. The 2 other hosts training me kept disappearing. When one of the waiters yelled at me for bussing a table I didn't touch, I noped out of there, went to the locker room, changed back into my regular clothes and walked out the front door right past the host stand. No one said a word to me. 2 weeks later I got a voicemail asking if I was showing up for my shift that day. I don't think I'd ever laughed so hard. Day 1. Grew up farming. We raised beef cattle and even did our own slaughter. I took a job with a cattle farm in the neighboring county where they beat the shit out of the animals. Wasn't gonna be a part of that. I took a 13-hour drive to West Texas for a job. I got there and within 5 minutes they informed me that I was going to be making $8 an hour less than I was originally told. I told them I was just going to go ahead and give them a 2-day notice. I'm out of this MF 2-day, turned around and drove 13 hours back home. Total waste of time and money. I had an FTO at an ambulance company catch me reading a book and he was like, "You need to get the fuck out of this industry." He then explained to me that he made the exact same amount of money in dollars then working as when he started 30 years ago. That was like maybe 4 shifts into me working there. I worked for a job as an hourly employee where they guaranteed 40 hours of work each week. First week I got 24 hours scheduled. That first day of work I had talked to the owners about the hours issue and they said they would fix it. The next day they posted the schedule for the following week and I only had 32 hours scheduled. I just didn't show up to my second shift and apologized to the manager over text that the owners can't keep a simple promise of 40 hours a week. So basically I quit after 1 day, haha. 1 month. Fully remote work from home job as a customer service representative for an online bank. They advertised it as the perfect side hustle for students with flexible shifts and work from home. Flexible for them meant you were scheduled for the entire week with no way to change that schedule. And set times you had to log in and a certain time to log off. Even all toilet breaks were logged. I went through the 2 weeks training course before quitting after getting told off for logging in 10 minutes late thanks to my bus home from uni being late. 2.5 hours into my shift. It was a plastic goods manufacturer warehouse, and the fumes from the product coming out of the mold press machine were so bad I felt like I was being tear-gassed. Sliced my arm on one of the machine parts and got blood all over, hundreds maybe thousands of dollars of product. Went to the bathroom, cleaned up and walked out. Fuck that job, and I've said that about many places, but I mean it. Never showed up. Interviewed. Took the job. Shit hours with shit pay. Had to show up at 4:30 the next morning. Got a call in the afternoon about a better job with better pay, better hours, closer to home, and called the guy at the end of his day to say I got a better offer. Sorry. His response: I didn't know you were even looking for something else. This really puts me in a bind. I expect you to be here tomorrow. I said sorry. I work tomorrow, and hung up. 4 days. They told me I would be teaching CAD to adults, but instead I was assisting in a class of 16 kids. Day 3. Technical admin job, which turned into basic grunt work. Promised training, but never any time to do that. 15 minutes into the job. It was a bad job. I said I have to go to my car to get something, and left and never went back. Keep in mind I was like 19. No regrets. 8 hours, and the only reason it was that long is because I needed a ride back in. 1 hour. I was not cut out to be a cocktail waitress in a Cajun Zydeco club. Rolling on the floor laughing. I quit a job at a call center during break at orientation lol. At my old job about 20 years ago, a guy clocked in and went into the work floor. He did a 360 turn immediately and clocked out, tears of joy. Day 4 this year. Was desperate to find another job and took one for a small office lab after not feeling too comfortable with it during the interview. Owner was insane conspiracy nut, refused to back anything up digital because the government know-it-all. Treated his wife, other staff, and clients like trash. I barely made it the 4 days before I called him and told him it's not going to work out. 15 minutes after showing up first day, got a call from the other place I interviewed. 2 days. I was hired for supply line management but was asked to do a hotline training just in case. The training itself was already a wreck, with our trainer getting into a shout match with the customer, saying he was bluffing when he said he would fuck up the place. But then a coworker said just in case? Oh no. Hotline is like 50 of everyone's job here. Expect to be mandatory hotline each day at least until lunch. Okay, bye. I mentally quit a job before I even started once. Got a job offer while I was jobless from 2 places on the same day. The shit one was a start ASAP kinda deal, and the good one had a start date about 2 months out. So I worked the shit job just to bridge the gap, knowing the whole time I wasn't going to be there any longer than necessary. 4 weeks. The new supervisor got in my face, took her mask off, and got pissed at me for not knowing enough about the job to close. So I walked that night. I didn't have a badge to turn in, because they never ordered me one. 2 days. My dog of 19 years died, and when I called in saying I had to bury him, my shithead boss asked how long that was going to take and when could he expect me to get there. 3 shifts over 3 days. It was a bakery department at a grocery store. Customers were trash. Management was trash. The other employees were long checked out, can't blame them, and here I was, this college kid, bouncing in trying to ask for help learning the job, and was not given any support. Cried the whole way home after my 3rd shift, then decided I would never ever work in food customer service again. It's been like 20 years now, and sure enough, everything since has been a somewhat cushy office job. Started in a mailroom at a warehouse, and now I'm mid-level in an industry I care about. Thank God I learned early on to not take shit.